Hi, it's Mayor Walter Sendzik, and I want to say thank you for joining our home with Mayor Sendzik. This is the season finale. We're taking a bit of a hiatus as we go into the summertime. So this is our summer fun show. We're going to have a lot of fun on this show. We're going to talk about what's coming up in St. Catharines, things that you can do to make your summer even more better than it's going to be, because St. Catharines is the place to be when it comes to summer enjoyment. We've got activities on our trails. You can head out to the museum. You can explore the downtown as it comes to alive with the outdoor patios. You can head into Port Dalhousie as long as the water starts to go down a bit. We've got Canada Day in Rennie Park. There's just so much going on, including Montebello Park. We have some festivals that are coming up that we're going to talk about. So this is going to be a fun show, and it's going to be fun because we've got some great guests. Patricia Vanstone, she has been with Foster Festival since its inception in our community 4 years ago. A dynamic individual who also received the award with the St. Catharines Art Awards, Established Artist Award.
That's right.
And established means that you're just really good at what you do.
And really old.
No. I didn't say that. No. But the Foster Festival.
I've been at it a long time.
Yeah, okay. A great award in recognition of your career in acting and directing, and really the Foster Festival has become a mainstay in our downtown. Over 4 years, it continues to climb. Foster Festival is that festival in the summer that really is about bringing heartwarming stories to life from Norm Foster.
Yep.
We're going to talk more about that.
Yep.
And also joining us is Serge Paquin, who is a very well-known business person with Skycom in our community. He owns a company that has been around for a long time, creates great business opportunities, but also a person who gives back into the community, a fellow Rotarian.
Yep.
Here, cheers to the Rotary, who is also the chair of Rotary Rib Fest. So we're going to talk about ribs, we're going to talk about what goes best with ribs, and we're going to talk about some comedy and light-warming theater. So I'm going to go to you, Patricia, first.
Okay.
In terms of Foster Festival, 4 years.
4 years.
It continues to climb in terms of people coming in from outside of Niagara, coming from all parts of the world to come in and take place at the First Ontario Performing Arts Centre.
That's right.
What's new and exciting for the fourth season?
Well, this year, our third show up is a musical featuring two incredible Niagara performers, Gabrielle Jones and Breton Lalama, who's from Welland. And they're just amazing. So that's exciting. We've opened up our capacity from 200 seats to 300 because we're getting that demand. And if we had stayed at 200, we would have had at least 7 performances sold out already. So that's great.
Take us through, it's a festival.
It's a theater festival.
So it starts when?
It starts June 19th. Our first show up is The Writer, which is a world premiere.
And that would be, how many times would that play?
We do 3 weeks, so it's essentially 18 performances per production.
And how many productions?
3 productions.
And that's where I think when we look at something like the Shaw Festival and sort of the models of Stratford Festival, where you have these festivals that take place in a community and the productions run for a longer
period of time.
And so Foster Festival, you've got 3 productions this season.
That's right. And Norm and I are starring in the middle one, Hilda's Yard.
Norm is actually going to be in
Norm is in the house.
Wow.
He is here for the summer because he likes to be in rehearsal for the world premieres.
Yep.
And he and I, we have so much fun on stage together that I programmed Hilda's Yard, which is a fantastic story. It's comedy set in the 1950s about a husband and wife who think they're finally empty nesters, and then the kids come back home. So a familiar story for many of your viewers, perhaps.
And you did a reading on that with Norm, about a year ago.
Yeah, well, I performed a monologue from from Hilda's at the Arts Awards the year I was presented with Established Artist.
That was it.
Yeah.
And Norm is also a recipient of the Key to the City of St. Catharines.
Key to the City of St. Catharines.
For his work as a playwright. He's an Order of Canada recipient.
He is.
Having the festival, talk a bit about the experience for the theater goer.
It is, well, it's a beautiful space. I mean, the Performing Arts Centre is just a jewel in downtown St. Catharines. And we have a lounge that we started last year, the fore and aft lounge. So we do, you can get a pre-show drink and treat, and we do talkbacks with the actors post-show. What you can expect from the Foster Festival is a great story, a summertime experience with lots of laughs and an occasional tear, because
Yeah, it does.
Norm takes you on a high dive and act of the dramatic storytelling that he's so well known for.
And that's what I'm really proud of, the fact that the Foster Festival has decided that St. Catharines would be the center of this Norm's
It's
work.
a perfect fit.
And it is, because when you look at the stories that he tells, when you look at the history of our community and being in amongst the vineyards in Niagara and really a destination for a lot of people, I think in the beginning people said, oh, is this going to be successful? And in your mind, how successful has it become?
I never doubted for a minute that Emily Orield and I would be welcomed by the city, as we have been. It was a lot of hard work, and I will admit to shedding a few tears in the dressing room when we were worried about, how to get our name out there. But audiences are letting other people know how much fun they have at the Foster Festival, and that is our best calling card. We say, if you come, you will come back, and you'll bring friends. So that's been wonderful. We also started doing this year, as part of an initiative with the city, the tourism office, we started doing Foster features.
Yep.
So on our website, you can find all kinds of information about what you can do in St. Catharines or around St. Catharines if you come to the Foster Festival. It's great.
And I think that's the unique part of it, is that it's in the heart of the city.
Yeah.
It's at the First Ontario Performing Arts Center, and then you get to explore the different restaurants that have now become a mainstay in our
walking
downtown.
distance, right?
All within walking distance.
Oh.
So we're going to come back to where you can get tickets and everything in a few minutes, but I want to go from one festival that's in the downtown to another festival that's in the downtown. And it's interesting because it's at Montebello Park, and it's been there for, Serge, you are the chair. How long has it been there?
This year will be our 20th year for the
20
August
years.
long weekend.
20 years, and it's the Rotary Rib Fest. Is it the biggest rib festival in Niagara?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're the biggest Rib Fest. There's a couple others in the area, but we've been the biggest. City of St. Catharines has been a great partner. We now fill up Montebello Park, and that's been
4
an
days?
absolute great venue. Yet we open up on Friday of the August long weekend, so that's August 2nd. We open up at noon, so it's a great, if you work in the downtown core, that should be your lunch spot to come down through. And we go through until 7 p.m. on Monday. And we do the hospice 5-card draw live on stage on the Monday.
So first we're talking with Rotary. Why did Rotary start this festival, and what has it done for the ability for Rotary to give back in our community?
So always fundraising is an important piece. So the other half of Rotary is doing good work and putting that money to use. I've always kind of been involved in the fundraising side of Rotary, and we need to get those funds somewhere. So we also have the Mega TV auction, and as that's growing, we needed to find some more fundraising abilities. I believe it was Burlington doing a Rotary Rib Fest. We kind of liked that idea, talked to their organizing committee, and thought it would be a great fit for our club, and so that's where we started it.
And so since its inception, how much has been raised?
We've raised just shy of $1.5 million, so we're hoping certainly this year to cross that milestone.
And I guess, Serge, what's interesting about that is that it's all volunteers. And when you look at an event like this, and some people say, okay, downtown Montebello, you take it over for 4 days, but it's all for community.
Yeah, over that time, we have about 150 volunteers. You know, we did some rough calculations. It's always hard to figure out how many hours, but we're probably at about 1,500 volunteer hours to put this community event together and have people come together. And all of that money we raise goes back into our community.
And so when you look at, and again, Serge and I are Rotarians and proud to be in, service above self is the motto. And when you look at the motto, service above self, and 1,500 hours of people putting in volunteer time, it also goes to things like Pathstone Children's Mental Health. It goes to the new hospital. Rotary had an opportunity to present there, and First Ontario Performing Arts Center. You see Rotary Park.
Yeah, Rotary Park is a great partnership between Rotary and City of St. Catharines.
And so I guess when the public sees Rotary doing Rib Fest, they can actually see in the community where the impact is being felt. And
Absolutely.
I know as someone, I've worked beside you at Rotary Rib Fest. We've served the beer and tried to keep control of the crowds. Yeah. Those are all volunteer times, and what it does is really a visual of what Rotarians do in the community in terms of giving back.
Absolutely. It's a great showcase where people can come in, have a great time at the park, and also see the good work that Rotary does to help our community be better.
So you're going to have any cupcakes this year for the 20th anniversary?
Might be able to figure something out for that, yeah.
So I'm looking for cupcakes and a cake. Those are two things
Yeah.
I think we should have
Those
for the
are on
20th anniversary.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, depending how big the cake will be. Maybe the cake will be made of ribs. Rib cake.
A rib cake.
Have you ever heard
There
of
you
rib
go.
cake before?
No, maybe we'll be the first. We'll be the first for a rib
to
cake.
do rib cake. So same format, and just for those who, for some reason, may not know that we have a Rib Fest in downtown, just give us the format of what the 4 days looks like.
So coming to the park is absolutely free. We have live bands. We do a lot of local live music. So on Friday we have Wednesday's Engine as our headliner. Nice. Saturday Vinyl Flux, which is a pretty popular local band. Sunday we have the Associates. Nice. They're up and coming and very popular, and we're closing out the show with Jonesy.
Jonesy's back.
Absolutely.
That's great. So we got local music.
Local music. And
how many ribbers?
We have 6 ribbers this year. Okay. So our regular favorites like Bone Daddies and Billy Bones. We have 1 new ribber. The I always forget the name of it because they're new to our
mysterious
our lineup.
ribber. Okay.
Yeah.
You got to come just to see who that one is.
They're here to try to take the championship away. So they're the Hogfather. That's it.
The Hogfather.
The Hogfather.
Billy Bones will be back.
Billy Bones will be back. Absolutely.
Right. And so I think one of the things that you said is it's free to get in.
Yeah.
And so you can just come, enjoy the music, and then if you really want to have a good time, there's corn on the cob, there's fry. Like I'm getting
the blooming onion.
Blooming onion. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
And there's something for the kids too up front. Niagara Fliddles will be there.
Ribs?
Junior ribs.
No, just something for the kids.
Yeah, something for the
small
kids.
Small ribs.
No, bouncy castles.
Bouncy castles. Yes. Yeah, we're for kids at heart, right, Patricia?
Exactly.
There you go.
They won't let me in. I'm too tall.
So, coming back to you, Patricia, in terms of how do people get tickets, and just give us the overall.
Sure. You can go to our website. You can visit in person at the First Ontario Performing Arts Centre box office. You can order tickets by phone at the box office at the PAC. We have group rates for groups of 10 plus, and very reasonable prices for 25 and under students. And so we're very happy to be holding the prices and making it affordable.
And the shows are noon, and you have an afternoon performance?
2 p.m. and 8 p.m. in the evening.
So those who are looking to come downtown during the afternoon,
Yeah.
great opportunity to stop in for a show.
Absolutely.
Evening, come downtown for dinner.
Yeah.
And then head off to the show.
It's fantastic.
3 shows this festival.
3 shows.
First one is
The Writer.
Yep. Second
Second
one is a
one
world
is
premiere.
Hilda's Yard. Writer is world premiere.
Yep.
Second one is a greatest hit, Hilda's Yard,
Starring
starring Norm and me.
Foster, yep.
And the third one is a brand new musical written by Norm and Steve Thomas.
A musical.
Yes.
Okay, I don't think I've experienced a Norm musical yet.
Well, he's written 5. This is the first one we've produced.
And that's why I haven't seen it yet.
That's right. That's right.
So I want folks to get out for the tickets for Foster Festival.
Yes.
It's going to be amazing downtown. Rotary Rib Fest, August long weekend, and cupcakes.
Cupcakes.
Rib cake.
Rib cakes.
Maybe.
And don't forget on Friday to get your coupon on our website for $3 off ribs from noon till 5 p.m.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
so using technology, ribs, $3 off. It's going to be a wonderful 4-day weekend. And I think we're trying to do something special with Parks and Rec. And I'm not going to say what it is. I hope there's going to be an announcement soon. But the fact that Rotary has been in Montebello Park for 20 years, I think it's an opportunity for the city and the Rotary to work on something around making that a commemorative event. So I want to say thank you, Serge, for what you've done, because it's not easy being chair. I know that personally. It's not easy. You do a lot of work, so you should be very proud of the fact that Rotary and RibFest is such a strong event in our community. Patricia, your leadership with Foster Festival and your enthusiasm is infectious, and so I think we've got 2 great events to look forward to in our downtown, and I want to make sure that we have as many people come out, explore the downtown, get your rib on, get your Foster Festival on, and just have a great time. So until after the break, and I know you're probably as hungry as I am, but after the break we have Wings coming back, WingFest, and we're also going to be talking about Canada Day at Rennie Park. So come on back in a few minutes. Hi, welcome back to Our Home with Mayor Sendzik. This is, again, the final show before we head into the summer. So we've talked about Rib Fest, we've talked about the Foster Festival. Now we're going to talk about Canada Day, and don't adjust your sets when it goes to our next guest. But We're also going to be talking about WingFest, which takes place in Port Dalhousie. So again, don't be surprised when you see a chicken on the stage. It's a real live chicken. But I want to introduce our first guest before we get to the chicken. Brianne Wilson is working with the City of St. Catharines, and she is our new events coordinator. She has a long background in producing wonderful events, and coming to the City of St. Catharines saw it as a great opportunity because we actually put together some pretty spectacular events over the course of a year.
Sure do.
But Canada Day is going to be our big one. And then sitting beside Brianne is Karl Vanderskuip, and he is known around the community as one of the most famous realtors that we have in the city. He also has a great business downtown at the corner of what would be Queen and the intersection of Queen and Lake,
Yep.
where the Up House is there. That's where his real estate company is located. But also he's a person who likes to give back to the community from St. Catharines Disc Golf over at Centennial, one of the founders of that course and organization, as well as one of the founders of WingFest. So I'm not going to carve you up right now as we get into the discussion because we're going to talk about Canada Day first. But for folks at home, we've got a real live WingFest mascot. I guess that's what we'll call you.
There we go.
It's always good to have fun with Karl. So Brianne, Canada Day taking place in Rennie Park.
Yep, so Canada Day taking place in Rennie Park, Monday, July 1st. We've got some really fun things planned, starting off with Tim Holland, the puppeteer. Maybe you can join us on stage. I don't know.
Make a cameo. Make a cameo.
You might scare the kids.
He might scare the children. So starting off with Tim Holland, the puppet tamer, followed by the Practically Hip. We figured that was a really good way to celebrate Canada Day with a really cool Canadian band.
Yep.
And then, of course, one of the themes of the event this year is inclusivity. So we're having a Crash Rhythm come, which is going to do an inclusive bucket drumming session with the community and our families that show up. And then last but not least, because we're celebrating the Official Languages Act, we have a French-Canadian singer, Gabrielle Goulet, coming to finish off the event. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for those who are trying to build their schedule for Canada Day, what time does it kick off at again?
Noon. We're starting at noon, and then we're finishing up just probably shortly after 4.
Okay, so it has become a bigger and bigger event. Canada Day is obviously across the country a huge celebration. It's very family-oriented, starts at noon, and then it ends at around...
Probably about 4:15, it'll finish up completely.
Okay, so I want to plan my day, and I've got kids, and I want to bring everybody out. How do I get to Rennie Park?
It's a good question. So we know there's some limitations in parking with Port this year. So what we've done is we've received some funding that has allowed us to provide a shuttle service. So
A shuttle service, okay.
Shuttle service, yep. So from the Port Dalhousie Lions Club into Rennie Park, we'll be providing some buses into Rennie Park that run from 11:45 to 4:15 or 4:30. Of course, we've got our public transit system as well. And then, of course, we are encouraging people to use some active transportation methods such as cycling.
And so you want to have, and I think one of the things we're trying to put up better signage, and I think that's where signage in our community where people can park going into Port Dalhousie. So one of the places that has become a place where people don't know that they can park or there's not a big enough parking spot is JC Park.
Correct.
And there's the bridge that goes across Montebello Park right into Rennie Park.
Exactly.
So we're putting up better signage that gives people direction to go into Rennie Park. There's parking pads there, and then you can walk across the bridge and come into the park. So you can go there. On the east side of the piers, there's parking there, and you can walk across the bridge and then walk across the road bridge, and you're right into Rennie Park. So again, ride your bike. If it's a nice day, you can walk, you can park and walk across the bridges to Rennie Park. And in terms of things for kids to do, we have the puppeteer.
Yep, the
and
puppeteer.
There's also, is there crafts or anything that?
We will have crafts again, absolutely. We have a button maker that we're
A button maker?
A button maker, so everybody can have a little button, a Canada Day button.
Yep.
We've got the pony rides on site.
Yep. Bouncy castles?
Bouncy castles will be there, a rock climbing wall, and then temporary tattoos as well.
What's the height limit for bouncy castles?
Oh, good question. Yeah, we need the chicken.
So it's always a great time, and this year is going to be no exception. And it's interesting, the official languages. Now, is that a milestone for us? Is it an anniversary?
I believe it's the 50th year.
The 50th anniversary.
I believe so, yeah.
great connection bringing that in. I believe it was last year. It was the celebration of the flag. It was the 50th anniversary of the flag.
I believe so.
And so now this year it's the 50th anniversary. What a great way to bring in the French language into it.
Absolutely.
And there will be indigenous, an indigenous part to it as well.
Yep,
First
we'll work
Nations.
that in there as well, and we'll have we have actually a lot of different members of the community coming in to help with our sort of Team STC tent to be
Okay.
giving out sort of promotional materials and stuff like that. So we're relying on our community members to come and bring that component to the event as well.
And practically hip.
Practically, yeah.
That is going to be great. Now I'm going to switch over because we're going to stay in Port Dalhousie. And WingFest is a festival that really continues to grow year over year. And Karl, you've been a part of it since the beginning. You have a great, strong board of directors. You're all young professionals that are putting on this event. First of all, tell us a bit about WingFest and why it's important in our community. What does it give back to?
Well, WingFest is in its 4th year, and it has been really exciting to be able to watch it and see it grow with friends and a group of young professionals. But not only are we getting down to the beach, we're having a lot of fun. We're having a lot of local restaurants that are partaking in who has the best wing in the city, vying for the championship belt. But also, we're there for community care, and that's where all of our proceeds go to. And at the end of the day, it's a win-win. We're down at the beach, we're having wings. This year, we're having craft beer on site. We're in our board shorts, and we got our beach ball. So we're just there to have a good family fun time at the beach.
I wondered where the beach ball came from. It just
Had to tie it in.
It just came in over the, good job. Now, the interesting thing is that you've got how many vendors for the wings? 6?
We have five wing vendors this year.
And they are?
Joe Blow's, Fiddler's Poorhouse, Grantham House, the 2-time champ of Collies, and the defending champ Wrigley's Field.
Wow. Okay, so those are all, I'm getting hungry now for ribs and wings.
Yes.
Because we had Rib Fest on just before the break. So you're downtown, you're down in Port Dalhousie. It is on the Ale Trail. And the Ale Trail is a guide in Niagara that takes you to the different craft breweries. So it's great that you have craft brewery there, and it's licensed?
Yep, the whole festival is licensed. We do have a kids component to it as well.
You have a stage?
We have the stage, especially with the new pavilion that has been placed down in Port.
Yep.
We have Band on a Couch is organizing all of our local indie music, so you're going to be able to come down and see the best of St. Catharines music and Niagara, really. And it's such a great time. We have a ping pong tournament with Family Rec Center and Niagara Ping Pong that sets up. And this year is going to be the first ever international chicken chucking games hosted by the Kilton Clover, as they have their international chicken chucking in the winter time. So we're excited to have that component as well.
So do we have to chuck you?
Is
Is that part of it?
If it goes there, we'll cross that bridge road. That's chicken when we get there.
Yeah.
So,
How'd the chicken get the other side of the road?
Yeah.
Got chucked.
you got chucked.
That could be a way. So in terms of community care, why did you choose community care?
Community care is it's certainly close to my heart. It's close to a lot of people's hearts. But basically, it's grassroots. It's found an organization that's been here for 100 years and really helps serve our most marginalized. So for us, when we can help contribute to our most vulnerable, it raises up the entire community and our spirit.
And just like Rotary Rib Fest, this is all volunteers.
All volunteers.
And that's, I think, with the public getting an idea of when you volunteer and events like this, they don't happen overnight. And talk about how long it takes to put on a WingFest, just so that people know that this is not, you just don't put up a tent, put up some deep fryers and throw in some wings and say we're done. There's a lot that goes in behind the scenes.
Absolutely, yeah. We take off. We just take off a few weeks to a month after the previous event, and we're right back into the boardroom.
Yeah.
We're going to be at every other week worth of board meetings going forward to the event. And it's very rewarding and it's hard work, but we're having a lot of fun, and we're really excited about this year's event and plan on it being bigger, better, and saucier than ever.
So this is how many years? 3?
This is our fourth
Year. So is it, because we
Yep.
just had Serge on, and 20 years of Rotary Rib Fest in the park, and it's become a mainstay in Montebello Park. It's become actually a signature event. And I wasn't around when it first started 20 years ago. I think I joined it around the 10-year mark, but it does take time to build that continuous momentum. Now this takes place July
27th, 28th.
So it's 2 days at the end
Yes.
of July. And in terms of the success it's had, you're one of the organizers. How do you feel about 4 years in? How do you feel about it?
Well, from a festival perspective, we're feeling pretty good. The social conscious is now putting us on the map for the festival calendar season, and Lakeside, as we know, has had some adversity, and we've had that as we've grown along with the festival in the park. But we're excited to be in Port Dalhousie and grow with that community and get people down to the beach.
Exactly.
You
We've
know?
got one of the best beaches in all of Ontario. And
Absolutely.
now we've got another reason to go down. So, do you have a website that people can check out?
Wingfest.ca.
Wingfest.ca, and you'll have a picture of Karl there in his chicken outfit, I think, maybe.
That's right.
Brianne, where can people get information on Canada Day?
The City of St. Catharines website, so stcatharines.ca/Canada Day.
It has all the event, all the times for everything.
Absolutely.
So get out into the community. We've got Rib Fest, we got Foster Festival, we got WingFest at the end of July, we've got Canada Day on Canada Day. You couldn't have asked for a better time in the summertime in St. Catharines. It is an amazing city, built by people who are doing amazing things that we've seen over the last half hour, and there is exciting opportunities to be with your friends and family and really just enjoy what St. Catharines has to offer in the summertime. So I hope to see you out. I know I'm going to be going to WingFest because I love wings. I know I'm going to go to RibFest. I'm going to Canada Day because it's Canada Day, and I love my country. And Foster Festival has put St. Catharines on the map when it comes to theater, and Norm Foster is one of the best there is in Canada. So, and I'm proud. I'm proud to be a Canadian, proud to be from St. Catharines, and I'm proud to be working with some amazing people. So have a great summer, and I hope to see you out and about. And if I do, stop me and say hi, and we can have a conversation. So until next time, with our home Mayor Sendzik, take care.